Hi, welcome back to Parlay Studios. I'm your host, Sarah Seb, with Justin Pooni and Jelani Goodridge-Reid. We're going to talk about the NFL, of course, and we're going to start off with somebody who we haven't spoken about for a while, I feel like. Russell Wilson and the Broncos.
Don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, I know. They lost 10-9 against the Baltimore Ravens, and I just want to know, what is going on with them this season, since the last time we've spoken about it.
It's your boy, Russ.
Yeah, hey, Russell Wilson, thank you so much. Top 3 pick. But look, I don't know what it is. Is he diminished? Has he fallen off a cliff that far?
That'd be crazy.
I think with Russell Wilson is what made him so great was he was off script, right? He could make plays, ad libs. But this offense he's in right now, the West Coast offense, but the Nathaniel Hackett under Aaron Rodgers, Matt LaFleur, that kind of tree. It's a lot about it being on schedule, making crisp throws, stuff like that. But that's not how Russell Wilson plays. That's not how he plays, right? And he's trying to be a pocket quarterback when his skill set, he needs to be moving around, making throws on the run. And I think conscientiously he's focused on, I want to be like Rodgers. I want to be like Brady. And he's gone away from his game. What made him so successful. And it's just not working.
No.
And there's talent there. He's still the most
sacked. That's what makes no
He's
sense.
still one of the
There's
most
talent.
sacked. I think he's the most sacked quarterback in the league.
Around that, yeah.
Right? And I think he holds onto the ball too long. He doesn't want to run, right? And I think because of that, that's why they're losing. They put up 9 points.
That's not good enough, man.
There's a crazy stat. If the Broncos scored 18 points a game, they'd be like 10-1 or something like that.
Wow.
And that's nuts.
That's bad.
Their defense is one of the best in football, and they're
wasting it.
Wasting it because their offense can't do anything. And the sad part is, they're stuck with Russell Wilson for the next few years.
They can't move off of him, right? And the problem is there's talent here. That's what makes no sense to me. However, coming into the year, people are like, oh, Denver's going to make the playoffs. Denver's going to go to the Super Bowl. I never saw it. I'm so sorry. I never saw it. The defense, I believed it. The offense, I don't know. And the thing is, Nathaniel Hackett. I think if they get a new coach in the door, I could probably see them playing better than this. I think
does
a
any
lot of
coach
the blame
want to
goes
come
to
to
him.
that situation though?
That's the
Sean
thing.
Payton,
He's not going there.
He's not going to go
He'd
there.
rather go to the Chargers probably,
I
right?
would think so.
I just look at this. This might be the biggest fall, like the worst fall from grace that we've ever seen.
And it could
if
be.
it continues like this, right, with Russell Wilson, because this is a guy on track to go to the Hall of Fame. And now it goes like he's hit the wall. And to me, it looks like they're done. Okay, the Broncos are done. And in terms of the locker room too, they just look like they don't want to play for him. They don't want to play hard for him, right? And the offense, I don't understand how it's gotten this bad.
You're seeing all these ex-Seahawks players and people saying not coming on and defending him. Marshall Lynch have said, I'd love to talk to him.
They're taking shots at him.
Yeah, Marshall Lynch said, I'd love to talk to him, but I'm not going to call you if I have to talk to your agent to get to you.
Yeah.
Reports saying that Russell Wilson has his own office in the facility, right? Which is, he's kind of putting himself above the rest, which the quarterback is the most important position by all means, but you still have to know.
He's doing too much.
You're doing too much. You still have to realize you're still part of the team. You're still one of the guys.
Especially when you're newer
When
to
you're
the
new,
team.
exactly.
How likely do you guys think it is that this season was a write-off, but next season they come back
I still
strong?
think I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because of what I saw in Seattle. And he's had a long career of success. He's had this one bad year. Okay. Actually, no. If you look at the end of Seattle, he wasn't playing that well.
Well, last year he was hurt. We had that thumb injury,
but
right?
I will give him the benefit of the doubt because I don't believe in the coaching that they have in Denver. Denver does not have a good coach right now.
But I think there's only so much you can blame on the coach too. They also have to blame Russell Wilson.
And in terms of the play though, he has to play better. And I think, like you mentioned, there's a lot going on in his mind that might be throwing him off on the field. But all in all, he has to play well because they felt like this was the Matthew Stafford move. You get the quarterback. They've been crying about a quarterback in Denver. We need a quarterback after Peyton retired, right? He was supposed to be the savior. You need to step up, Russ, right? So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt one more year. But if he plays like this, he's done. Like next year, if he does this again.
Well, he's not done because they have so much money tied up to him.
No, I mean like he's cooked.
Oh, he's cooked. Russ. Let Russ cook him. Russ is just cooked.
Yeah.
No, I think when I look at Russell Wilson, it's obvious that he invests a lot of time and effort into his body. I think he's gotten too bulky. I think it's time for him to trim down a little bit and try to get that speed back. He needs to run.
But will he be even willing to run? That's the one question.
But right? I think this year needs to open his eyes. I went away from what made me so successful.
Even the deep ball's not there.
Exactly. I think he needs to if I'm Russell Wilson, I'm not doing any endorsement deals anymore. Nothing until I focus on what got lock in on what made you that celebrity, right? Lock back into your game, start playing your game, and thank you for the first round pick. And after that, I'd really just skip.
Okay, let's move on to segment number 2. And I already know which sides you guys are gonna pick and how this is kind of gonna go. So you're gonna have to like fight it out like a just big challenge or whatever. So, who is the NFC's best, the Cowboys or the Eagles?
Well, you go first. I want you to say. I know you're going to say the Eagles because you don't want to say the Cowboys because Jelani is so smart, ladies and gentlemen. What he's doing is he cushions his expectations, right? He's like, the Cowboys aren't that good. They suck compared to the Eagles. Like they're the worst team ever. But he's doing that because he doesn't want to get hurt.
That is not true. That is not true.
I just want you to take the Cowboy side, to be honest with you.
You guys know me, okay? Huge Cowboys fan.
Yeah, we know that's why you're not doing them.
But I am a realist, okay? Unlike, I know it's rare. It's rare for a Cowboys fan to be a realist. I need to see what happens on Christmas Eve. Okay. That is the game of the year for both sides.
Yeah.
Right? Because that time we'll see what Dak has. He wasn't playing the last game against the Eagles, right? Mm-hmm. But the way the Cowboys are looking right now, you might want to say that they're the best.
Yeah.
Okay. They have.
You might.
Yeah, because
is that the most we're gonna get out of you? They might be.
Might, because they have the they have the defense that can travel. They have a defense that can travel, right? They have a running game with 2 guys. You got Pollard, who is the speedster, and Zeke. He's been playing well the last few weeks. Okay, you have to give him the credit where it's due. No, he's not 2016 Zeke, but he's the power back. 2017 Zeke. No, he's the power back now, right? And the CeeDee Lamb element. You're looking at Michael Gallup. He's starting to play.
Odell Beckham. He's in Dallas today.
Come home, brother. Okay. I hope the meeting goes well today, boss. But I think the Cowboys look. If you look at what has happened since Dak's gotten back, they lead the league in points per game. They're doing fantastic on third down. This is a lethal team right now, right? And the Eagles. The thing about the Eagles, they did really look good against the Titans. The Titans did not show up. But they have struggled before that game. They struggled a few weeks, but
they still won.
Lackluster teams. Okay, you're talking about the Colts, right? Who the Cowboys just killed on national TV. You're talking about the Washington game. So how does Jalen Hurts look in the playoffs? That's my question. How will he look in the playoffs? Because he's playing really well. I will give him that credit. Mm-hmm. But how will he look in the playoffs?
I'm gonna go with the Eagles because I think Cowboys have a great defense, right? But you stack it up. All things considered, running game. Okay, we can give the Cowboys the edge on the running game.
It's close, but I'll give the edge.
Cowboys. Weapons: AJ Brown, CeeDee Lamb.
It's a toss-up.
It's a toss-up, right? It's a toss-up. Offensive line.
I'll give edge to the Eagles.
Edge to the Eagles, but slight edge, right?
But Tyron Smith, he's still
defensive line between the Eagles and Cowboys.
I'll give Cowboys.
Cowboys, right?
Pass rush, sack rate.
Secondary, we'll give to
the secondary Eagles because the Cowboys are beat up.
So it's pretty even across the board. But where is the most important matchup? The quarterback matchup. And although Dak and the Cowboys are putting up a lot of numbers, I've seen a lot of turnovers from Dak lately.
Not all of them on Dak though. A lot of them have been on the routes.
Okay.
CD
fine.
or.
But when I look at Jalen Hurts, I look at Dak Prescott. Who do I trust the more? Jalen Hurts.
And why is that?
Because Jalen Hurts can run that Philly offense to a T, right? That QB sneak is the most unstoppable play in football right now they have run, right? You see them when they get on 4th and 1, they're going to go to the QB sneak. You're not going to stop them on that. Jalen Hurts continuously, time in and time out, every week, has shown that he doesn't really turn the ball over. He makes plays with his leg and his arm now. And I think when I look at the quarterbacks, this would have been crazy to say at the beginning of the season. Jalen Hurts right now is a better quarterback than Dak Prescott.
Well, he's in the MVP talks, exactly. Right? So you have to give him the edge there. The one thing, though, that would help your case is something I'm concerned about and why I haven't gone full in with Dallas yet. It's the problem with the penalties.
Yeah,
the coaching element. I like Mike McCarthy. He's done a good job this year, honestly, because we had a backup for 5 weeks and he kept us alive. Like Cooper Rush, shout out to you. Wrong camera. But I want to say, like, the penalties have to stop with Dallas, right? It's going to matter come January, right? The discipline has to be there because the Eagles are a disciplined group. That's one thing. But if you're talking about the quarterbacks real quick, I have trust in Dak Prescott. I've seen him do it in the playoffs. He's had battles. Yes, he's won 2 Super Bowls. But he's won 2 Super Bowls. 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 and he's
He
lost.
won one play?
Yeah, but he's battled Aaron Rodgers. You have to give him that credit. Jalen Hurts, we saw what happened last year.
He played one playoff game.
I know.
He played against Tom Brady.
We saw what happened. And it wasn't a good performance, right? So
enough.
what will he do this time with the pressure? There was no pressure last year. There's pressure on him now. There's number one in the NFC, right?
Is there no pressure on Dak Prescott though?
Not as much as the Eagles.
No, I don't know about that.
I wouldn't say that because the Eagles have been playing. They were the last undefeated.
If you think about this, right? This is the Eagles really their first year.
I would say pressure if OBJ comes in the door.
The Cowboys
because that would mean
the Cowboys are under more pressure because they're the Cowboys.
I would say because if you look throughout the year, the Cowboys were not a Super Bowl team. Now that OBJ talks are coming, now people are like, okay, no, it's true. It's true.
They're 8-3. 9-3.
No one thought that the Cowboys were going to win the Super Bowl until the OBJ talks came in the door. The thing is, with the Eagles, they've been here. They've been balling all year long, and you're going to choke in the playoffs? That can't happen. If you're Jalen Hurts,
choke to the playoffs every year.
No, I'm not. No, I'm saying with Jalen Hurts though, he can't choke after the year they've had.
No, for sure.
After the MVP talks, right now, that can't happen.
But what I'm saying,
that's why there's pressure on him.
If we're looking at the progression, right, the progression of where each quarterback is, Jalen Hurts is basically in year one of really becoming a contending team, right?
That's fair.
Dak Prescott, they've had expectations to go far in the playoffs for a number of years that they've fallen short of now. So the pressure is getting onto Dak because this roster is going to reach a point where, Jerry and Steven will be, okay, we can't invest anymore. We're going to have to go in a different route because this group is not going to get. Philly's just in the beginning of their program like that. So Philly will, barring an injury, will have more kicks to the can. The Cowboys are running out of kicks to the can with it. So that's why I'm saying there's more pressure.
I see what you're saying.
Cowboys.
I just think that with Jalen, the way he's playing, the way he's been playing, he's the MVP. If Mahomes wasn't going crazy, he's MVP. More pressure.
To me, this is the most exciting matchup just because both of you guys are fighting it out. Like, I just want to know who's gonna make it further just because of this conversation.
It's a good thing I'm not gonna be here for Christmas Eve. Then
look, man,
I don't want to see you.
I wish this guy was rooting for our success because I'm rooting for the Seattle Seahawks success. I hope Gino does well. Hopefully we got a Seattle and Dallas NFC Championship. I would love that. I would love that.
I would not want to see that
because
we lose.
I guess we're just gonna have to see what happens on Christmas Day. But until then, take care.